As with any human relationship, face-to-face is the classic. From an evolutionary perspective, we're trained to know how to respond to facial micro-expressions, to body language. You can really get in tune with someone when you're in person, when you have three-dimensional data with all your senses, as compared to a two-dimensional screen. That's just reality. But it's also true that a lot of the work world is taking place on Zoom screens now, and we have to deal with that. I would say that ideally, when you have a mentoring relationship, it would be great if you can find time, at least periodically, to connect in person. That way you can kind of replenish the connection and you're checking in, but with a rich data set already in place. But sometimes it's not possible, and you do the best you can. And it's really about just listening deeply and making sure that you're not distracted, as we so often can be when we're on a screen, and that we're taking in carefully the nuances of what people are telling us.
I always swore I could never be a virtual mentor. I didn't think I would have the attention span, and I would flick to emails while the other person is talking. Now, I shut down every other window and my phone goes on airplane mode, so none of that can happen. But actually, I've found myself more able to mentor virtually than I expected. But it is still so much more powerful when you're sitting across from someone in person. You can read their body language, you can read nuances in each other, language takes on a different power. You can talk across each other more comfortably, which is a natural type of conversation. So I do prefer in-person mentoring, but I found that virtual mentoring does work, and I'm better at it, I believe, than I thought I would be.
You need, especially in the initial stages of the relationship, you need to be able to read the person, their body language, the eye contact, the sitting beside them to gain the trust, and working through those early challenges. I believe virtual mentoring does have a place, and I think that probably when the relationship becomes more calmer and more trustworthy, you're able to step away from that face-to-face opportunity. I must admit, pre-pandemic, I was always in the never a virtual audience, but I think it's brought about a great opportunity as well, because mentors themselves can sit there in their office and work with more clients, and the more clients we work with, the more help we're giving. So for me, it's a better form of support and a quicker form of support, but also I think initially you still need that contact and that getting to know opportunity.
But what I have experienced is that mentees feel a bit safer to speak openly, to be more vulnerable online. Maybe it's the distance between the screen, but I've certainly never found it a disadvantage. And it means we can talk to people all over the world.
And that personal connection, being able to read the non-verbal signs, and actually the conversations you have in the margins as well are just so important. And I think they're very hard to replicate in a virtual setting.
When you have the camera right and you're fully engaged and you show up, you actually can see a little bit more of the personal side of the person that you're working with, from their bedroom, their living room, their dog, whoever's walking in. It does lend a little bit more, it makes them a little bit more human, which I really appreciate.
I think mentoring in person and virtually can both be impactful. And I would not say that it's a blanket answer. For some, they really need the in-person mentoring, while for some people, the virtual mentoring is more beneficial. Knowing what works and being nimble is what makes a mentor so successful. Do what the mentee needs.
But end of the day is, whether it is face-to-face or remote, it is still the intention. The intention and the mindset of learning and growing together. Whether person or remote, it's just a platform, the stage.